Okay, so if you made it to this step, you've noticed I haven't changed my shirt. It's okay, I don't have a lot of clothes. Now, what I want to talk about first is going to be trend lines. Now, trend lines to me is probably one of the most important things, because it doesn't matter if you're looking to day trade, like you just want to get in and out real quick, or if you want to do something on a long-term basis, or maybe even an overnight swing or a week swing. So there's a lot of different ways of looking at things, right? So I'm going to go to the charts here and we'll choose something that everybody's familiar with. I'd like to say Apple or Neo. All right, so let's do Neo. Now, the chart that I have pulled up here is a daily chart. All right, so for me, I like looking at everything. It could be a minute chart, it could be a 5 minute, 10. I really don't use 10 much. I love the 20 days and I love the 180s, 1 year, and the 1 minute. All right, so let's start off with something like the 1 minute for now. Now, on a 1 minute chart, the reason why I like looking at this is only for immediate plays. Like if I'm just looking to get in and I want to get out within the next few minutes, I like doing scalps. So zoom in right here for the market open area. Now, just from looking at this chart, you really cannot tell how this is going to play out today, how it's going to play out in the next couple of hours. But when I'm looking at this on a minute, I can see here the RSI. Look at the volume. Here it dips all the way down into oversold. If something goes this far down, which obviously you see here a big massive red bar, that means it's oversold. So it's got a high probability that it's going to bounce. How far is it going to bounce? How high is it going to go? That you really don't know yet. But that's a good time to buy in. I usually like to wait until it finally see like a little bit of a recovery, like the next bar should come up green, before I would decide to go in. You can't buy in right down here at the bottom because you knew it was going to come down to 63.17. No, you're not Jesus, except for Jesus if you're watching. But if you look now on, let's say, 20-day 1 hour chart, this one is one of my favorite charts. You can see here I already have a lot of different levels, like all these trend lines. Now, these trend lines act as support and resistance. So what I'll do is I'll find an area. You can see here it was rejected when it was coming up, but then it broke through, came back down, came back up. It started consolidating on this line, came back down, came back up, came to this line, rejected, came back down here. So you see, you got a trading range. You got a resistance level, you've got a support level. So I know that this is going to be a range that is going to bounce around in for a while. These things are good to know because you want to know your entry positions. If I'm going to short it, I would rather wait until it comes up here. If I see a double tap on a resistance level, that's a perfect opportunity for me to short. If I see it come all the way down and it bounces off of something, but then I see it keep on bouncing, you know, there's a term like, if you keep knocking on heaven's door, it's going to open. Well, any door, you keep knocking on it, it's going to open. You're going to go through it. So if it keeps on bouncing on this line, it keeps knocking on it, it's going to break through. And then it did. So you want to know about trend lines. You want to know how to set them. If I go back even further, if I look at a year, you can see that this trend line, which I have from May 21st, and it works perfectly up until June 22nd. That ain't June 22nd. December 29th. Holy smokes. So it's been acting as a level of resistance at first. It came, broke through, came back, rejected, falls down, comes back, rejects it, comes back up, doesn't make it through, comes back again, and then finally it actually got rejected there, and then it broke through. But now it went from a level of resistance and now it's a level of support. So then you keep moving further down the chart, it comes back, it tests it, bounces off, comes back down, bounces off, comes back down, bounces off. So this is a perfect line. Like it can't get any better than this. And then up here I have more lines, which are just confirming trading ranges, right? Because naturally it's not going to keep on coming back off that line. So you're going to have an area of consolidation, and this right here is an area of consolidation. So it bounced off of here, comes up, comes back down, comes up, comes back down, bounces off of here. So now I know that this right here is a level of support. Comes back up, bounces, but then it breaks through, comes back up, bounces. So this became a trading range, and then it broke through. So it kind of made a triangle. You can say like it made a wedge, but either way, it's a trading range, but you use trend lines to form support and resistance levels. These things are going to be so important when you're trading. You do not want to slip on this. Even if you look at it, let's look at Apple. Apple, same thing. I have a, what is this? This is a support. The support goes all the way back down to March 20th of 2020, and it's perfect. I mean, it got hit on July 23rd, came back, got hit again September 21st, came back, broke through, got rejected, got rejected, got rejected. So these lines work so well for me, and I think that's why there's a lot of times where I'm not really afraid, but then you just want to know areas that you can buy in, you can add more to your position. You can see that if it's going to break through this line, do I still want to hold? You can make a lot of decisions, but it just helps to have trend lines. You don't want your chart looking like this. I know this looks like a really bad old video game, like Missile Command, because I got way too many lines drawn on here, but believe me, they come in handy. So you want to make sure that, oh, and I know that a lot of you guys are probably wondering right now, what chart am I using? This is TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. So it's the platform I use, it's the platform I love. It's not the one that you need to use. All platforms you can adjust. You can make trend lines from whichever platform you're using. So more power to you for using whatever you want to use. But either way, you can see a lot of other things on here which I can always discuss in other videos. Like we got, which I think I mentioned in my last video, gaps. You really want to understand gaps, but you're going to want to know about these your SMA lines. So we're going to get into that one probably in the next video. But I think I want to keep this one right here, just because I don't want to confuse anybody. You can always come back and look at the trend lines, understand the trend lines. When you guys have that all figured out, move on to the next video. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to be talking about is going to be gaps, which is the big purple stuff you see over here. All right, so we'll touch base on that.